Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the video. Hopefully you're doing fantastic today, and welcome back to another Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach breakdown video. Today's video is going to be focused on the NVIDIA Tech Demo released earlier this year, back in January. Last video we covered the revealed trailer that was revealed in September. Today's video we're going to be focused on the NVIDIA Tech Demo. Just like last video, this video is going to be a live footage, so I'm going to be watching the trailer with you guys, and then I'm going to be sharing my thoughts as we go along. I could have scripted this, but like I said in the last video, those didn't end up going well, so I think it's just better if I show my live reaction to these trailers. I've obviously seen them before, but there's a lot of things that I missed the first time I saw them, which is why we're going back to watch all of these trailers again. So if you guys are excited, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are brand new, but let's get right into it.
Gregory.
So the trailer starts out in the main lobby yet again. I think we all think that this is like one of the main entrances. Like we shared in last video, you can just get a glimpse of these barriers right here that would stop guests from entering who don't have like a ticket or something. We did more of that in last episode. I recommend you go watch that video if you haven't already. We go into detail of the reveal trailer, but we can see this seems to be the main lobby, and just comparing this shot alone to the reveal trailer, you can see how updated all the graphics and models are. Like, this place looks like it could be a completely different game. It's been updated so much. First of all, you can see that there's actually windows this time and not just blurred out textures. So now you can see what's inside the Glamrock gift shop. We can see what's inside of this side of the building over here through this doorway. And another fun fact to point out as well is that the Glamrock Freddy statue has actually been flipped. So his microphone stand used to be pointing towards the right, and it's now pointing towards the left side of the screen, which I think is pretty interesting. I don't know what led Steelwool to make that change, but I still think it's interesting to point out nonetheless. So if we zoom into this shot here, get a better glimpse of everything. Let's keep it right here for now and focus on the Glamrock gift shop. So we already talked about these two giant banners of Glamrock Freddy and Glamrock Chica. Obviously we would have the Glamrock animatronics to be advertising the Glamrock gift shop. It only makes sense, really. So in here we can see we've got some t-shirts. I think it looks like maybe some shoes here, some shoe racks and some t-shirt hangers. Back here in the background you can see there's advertisements of Glamrock Freddy, Roxanne Wolf, and we can just make out Glamrock Chica right there in between the two windows. So I'm gonna guess that Montgomery Gator might have his own aisle of merch as well. So maybe in the game we can actually buy some merch of our favorite animatronics. I think that would be a cool little feature if we can just take the clothes off the rack and we can customize our own look of Gregory. I think that would be kind of cool actually. Steelwool, if you're watching this video, it's not too late to make that change. We've also got what seems to be a cardboard cutout of Glamrock Chica with some like little stand or something. I'm not sure what this would be selling. Maybe some smaller plushies of some sort. We can actually see some plushies on the top floor, but we'll get to that in a second. What's important is we can see the sun animatronic right here in a red dress. So there is a sun animatronic, and this sparks the discussion. Is the sun animatronic the same as Moondrop? Are Moondrop and Sunrise the same character? We still don't know yet. There's heavy debate and there's lots of evidence on each side of that, but I'm not going to get into that in this video. Moving on to the top floor, you can actually see what seems to be a music store in a way. So this could be where you could buy maybe a toy guitar, a toy piano, something like that, because you can see there seems to be the instruments of the animatronics hanging on the ceiling. You can see a guitar here, what seems to be another guitar right here, if we can get a better shot of that. Yeah, right here. You can see Roxanne's keyboard guitar right here. I think it's like a keytar or something. I'm not sure. It's like keyboard guitar, keytar. I don't know what the name for that instrument is, but you've got another one hanging there. There should be another one that we see in a screenshot later on, but we'll get to that not in this video, I don't think. We've got lots of music notes in the background and a line of plushies right here. So this seems to be Glamrock Freddy, as it seems to have that orange, and this could possibly be Roxanne Wolf as it's more gray in color. Something to note out as well is you can actually see these like advertisements hanging on the ceiling, like just little screens really. And what's cool is that they're actually showcasing the original concept art we were teased on scottgames.com, the original for Freddy, Monty, Chica, and Roxy. So all of these you can actually see. There's one of Roxy here, there's another one over here, but I just think it's cool. So that concept art wasn't just going to waste once the teasers were left Scott Games. They're actually going to be seen in this game, which I think is really cool. There also seems to be a moon actually, so maybe Moondrop and Sunrise will actually have their own shelf of merchandising as well. Now let's move on to the other side here. I believe this is the Faz pad. Now it could be Jazz pad, however if you look at this first letter right here, it looks like it kind of resembles an F. A J wood doesn't have that little branch that goes out to the right, so I think this is Faz pad, and this seems to be maybe a restaurant in a way. Just like the Glamrock Gifts, this could be a two-storied restaurant, because if we go to the bottom here, you can actually see what seems to be booths maybe. So, you know, when you go to a restaurant, sometimes you get sat at a table, sometimes you get sat at booths, and that's what I think these are. They could be arcade machines, they could be seats. I'm really not sure what this area is. However, I'm guessing that the Faz pad is a two-storied restaurant where patrons are going to be able to eat pizza or anything like that. You can actually see here there seems to be a reception desk right here with two cash registers and a cutout of Roxanne, so maybe this restaurant is some kind of tie-in with Roxanne's raceway, because it's not only a cutout of Roxy, but it actually has her race flag as well. So I think this restaurant, or whatever this is, has some tie-in to Roxy's raceway. Let's go back a bit as well, because there's actually something that I bet none of you guys were expecting for me to point out, is this flower pot right here. I don't think anyone has ever pointed out this flower pot, but I just wanted to bring it up anyway, because where do you remember seeing a flower pot in Security Breach? I'll let you think about it for a second. If you thought about the Security Breach Funko figures, you're exactly right. I was thinking, I just got reminded of the Vanny and Vanessa Funko statue. I have no clue why. This could mean nothing at all. Once again, it might be unimportant, but I'm going to bring it up anyway because this is a breakdown video and I'm trying to just think of every piece of detail and what could add up together for us to come up with some theories for this game. So this flower pot right here reminded me of the Vanny and Vanessa statue that Funko released. You know, could mean nothing. It's a bit smaller than the flower pot in the statue, to be completely honest, but I still think it was worth the point out anyway. Once again, might be unimportant, I'm still bringing it up anyway. And the last thing I want to point out before we move on to the next scene is the music you can hear in the background. You recognize that? Because I've used it quite a bit in my videos. This is the Freddy Fazbear's theme song from Help Wanted. You might not recognize it from Help Wanted because you probably haven't wasted your time like I have. If you go into the extras menu of Help Wanted, this song plays, so it's not actually unused, it's just not really used in an open part of Help Wanted. It's more in its own area in the extras menu when you see all the credits. Now, I'm sure this isn't the only song we're going to hear when we walk through this establishment. I'm sure this game is going to have its entire own OST that I'm really excited to hear. But yeah, it's nice to see that this song got to see the light of day again and is going to have a more prominent role in Security Breach. I kind of forgot we heard Vanny's voice as well, so we're done with all the visuals for this scene. Let's go over what Vanny's saying. So what's interesting is, yes, again, we hear Vanny calling out for Gregory, except this time it doesn't seem to be as echoey as the first time we hear Vanny talking in the reveal trailer. I'm going to play both audios now so you can listen to the two of them.
Gregory. Gregory.
Do you hear the difference between the two? Because the last one seems like it was coming from far away, like Vanny is talking in a big echoey open chamber, but this time Vanny is calling out Gregory in a smaller confined area, and it sounds a lot closer than last time. So maybe these are two different voice lines, and it's two different times that Vanny is calling out to Gregory. I might be looking too far into this, but I do think it is important that the first time we hear Vanny talking, it's more echoey, and this time it sounds like it's in a more confined area.
It's getting late.
Now, this scene right here is the most important from the entire trailer in my opinion, because it reveals a lot. First of all, we get to see El Chip's Mexican restaurant. We know this is El Chip's Mexican restaurant for two reasons. One, it was later revealed in the gameplay screenshots, and two, you can actually see El Chip right here. Now, this obviously isn't the animatronic El Chip, it's just like a piñata or something. Whether we will see an El Chip animatronic in this game could be interesting, because, you know, we might not have seen every single animatronic in this game yet. We've obviously seen the Call 4 and then Sunrise and Moondrop, but there could be other animatronics in this establishment, just like El Chip. So looking past the actual restaurant itself, you can see there's some tables here, some tables for 4. There seems to be air hockey tables, which is kind of cool, which then lead to this massive arcade room in the background. So this seems to be next to one of the multiple arcades in this location, which I think is pretty cool. So once you're done playing your games, you can go hang out in the restaurant, or once you're done eating, you can go play in the arcade. So all of these seems to be close together, so that way you don't have to walk from one side of the mall all the way to the other just so that you can do what you want to do. It all seems to be confined in certain areas. Now, if we go forward a little bit, we actually can see that this is Faz's Fizz Station or something like that. Faz's Fizz Station. Either way, this was one of the advertisements in FNAF 6. If you remember, in FNAF 6, we actually get some sponsorship offers, and this was one of them. So it's really cool to see that this game seems to be referencing previous games with El Chip and Faz's Fizz Station, because we know that FNAF VR as well did have some concessions, so that we might possibly see some more, just like we see Chica of the Sea. That was a returning candy from FNAF VR. Possibly like Sodaroni, that could be here as well. That's just on the top of my head. I'm sure there's a lot more that you guys can tell me down in the comments. But you can start to see this counter right here, and if we go forward a bit, right there, let me go back a tiny bit so we can see it better. Nope, I missed it. I shouldn't have touched anything. You can see the start of a serving robot, and that is possibly the most important find from this trailer. There are robot staff in this establishment, so not only is it going to be human staff, but there's also going to be robots possibly serving patrons their food, cleaning up the place, and all things like that. So there's going to be a mixture of human and animatronics running the establishment. Kind of scary to think. We're in this massive mall. Sometimes it can be really enclosed, sometimes it can be big open areas, but either way, there is always going to be some kind of eye watching us. If we move forward a bit more, you can see another robot serving food. Now, what's interesting is, who are they serving to? There's no one here. This establishment seems to be empty, so why are the robots active serving food and drinks when there's no one in the establishment? You know, I don't think I've really heard anyone thinking about that. All the lights are on, but no one's here. So when does this scene take place? Maybe it's just for the trailer, I don't know. I still think it's worth to point out. You can see some more of the arcade here in the background, so this isn't just this simple hallway here. This room actually branches out quite a bit more. You can see the ready set go sign here, and the last thing I want to point out for this scene is you can actually see a second robot just right there as this robot is passing by. Now, I originally thought that this was a reflection, like possibly this entire wall here is a mirror mirroring what's behind the camera right now, but that's not the case because we don't see a reflection of these arcade machines on the other side of the mirror. So this seems to be a second animatronic moving in unison with this robot right here. Now let's go over what Vanny says in this scene, because it's actually pretty interesting, and again, I haven't heard anyone bringing this up.
It's getting late.
Just those simple words, it's getting late. Again, no one's thought about this, but think about it, it's getting late. That means, is it still taking place at night? Usually the FNAF games take place from 12 AM to 6 AM, but possibly this game, we know it's going to be in one night, at least that's what we're guessing, but what if it's not from 12 to 6, but it's possibly from, say, 10 to 6, or even more than that, because it's getting late means it's still in the PM, because if it was past 12 AM, that means it's the morning, so would you say it's early, it's like it's too early or something like that? I'm overthinking things, I know, but I still think it's interesting to bring up nonetheless that Vanny says it's getting late instead of it's early in the morning, it's past your bedtime or whatever like that.
Let's get you home.
This next scene here gives us a good view of the ice cream parlor. You can see the neon lights up top saying ice cream, and once again, we've got robot staff, and that's really important, and it's actually a lot more interesting in this shot because if you look closely at the robot, it turns to look at the camera as we pass by. Now these guys are active, so all of the staff are still active. Again, past the hours, there's no one here. Why are all the robots active? I'm not too sure. Going back to that thought that the robots are watching us the entire time is really creepy, and I do think that it will play a part in the game. Like, they're not just going to be there for show. These serving robots will have a use, whether it's to help Gregory or to go against Gregory. Now let's actually talk about the place itself. So this corner right here seems to be the ice cream parlor, but right here it seems to be some other kind of place. Now this could just be you get up, you go get your ice cream, you sit back down, but why is there mustard and ketchup? So unless there's another restaurant nearby, possibly like a hot dog stand or something, because I don't really think what else you would put mustard and ketchup on. If you put mustard and ketchup on ice cream, you're weird, you need to go talk to someone. Maybe this is the food court, you know, maybe there are some more restaurants around and this is just the main hub. So it's a big open area and all the restaurants are surrounding the area in a big circle area. Kind of like malls in real life. I know the mall where I live does have that. It's a big open area and all the restaurants are surrounding it. So I think that this could be the way that this is. And another robot back here with what seems to be maybe an ATM behind it, and while we're at this side of the screen you can see this hallway here that could possibly lead to somewhere else. I think that this entire scene has weird wall layouts, because right here you've got a curve that leads to another part, possibly the actual kitchen itself where all the people are bringing out the ice cream, and then if you go over to the left you can see this wall texture, which, why? This is just annoying. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but if it is, why? It doesn't line up, the lines aren't even, and it's just like 3 walls were just plastered on top of each other with no thought at all. Steel wall, why? And this seems to be the thing as well, because later on in the NVIDIA conference they re-showed this screenshot and the wall texture is still there. I don't know what's wrong with you, but please fix this unless it's important and in the game and it proves me wrong. But for now, this is just mildly infuriating. We've got more advertisements for pizza, 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 and tasty to go. So maybe you're able to like pick up a pizza and then just walk with, and then just take it with you as you walk through the establishment. So it's not just like a sit-in, you can actually walk in like a drive-through, except you're walking instead of driving, if that makes any sense. So you can actually pick up your stuff and then go around back shopping, checking out all the attractions and stuff like that. Maybe there could be a stamina mechanic where Gregory can only run a certain amount before he needs to eat something or drink something, and that regains all of his energy and then we can start running again. What would be funny to counter that is that we have to go to the bathroom, because if you eat too much or drink too much, you get where this is going. And now let's actually talk about what Vanny's saying, because once again Vanny says, "Let's get you home." Let's get you home. Now what's interesting about that is it starts to get more echoey again. So maybe Vanny is losing Gregory and we're getting further away, so we're running away. We're successfully running away from Vanny, and her voice is starting to get more echoey because she's further away. Last thing about Vanny's voice is that it seems to cut off near the end. You know, it has the echo, but it just cuts off after she says home, almost as if there's more dialogue coming after what she says.
Let's get you home.
That's not just me hearing that, like it stops fading out, like it fades in, but then instead of fading out, it just cuts, if that makes sense. Again, probably means nothing, probably is nothing, I'm still bringing it up anyway.
And put you to bed.
Alright, here we get our first in-game look at the Utilidors. I'm going to call it that because it was later revealed that this room right here is called the Utilidors from the gameplay screenshots. So this seems to be a underground location underneath the mall where all sewage and stuff goes, because the definition for Utilidors, insulated conduit used for general utility service, especially in Arctic climates. I don't think this takes place in the Arctic regions. This place is used for the staff to transport wastes and stuff like that. You can see all the pipes around here, probably flowing through electricity, powering up the entire location itself. This might be connected to the back room we see in the first shot of the revealed trailer, and these are just pipes leading to all the other electrical circuits around the establishment. You can see there's electrical sparks in the background corners here, and even steam rising from the floor. So maybe there's even another location underneath the Utilidors, possibly the sewer location. So we know the megaplex is 3 stories tall, but what about the Utilidors underneath and the sewer even underneath that? So maybe this place in total has 5 floors to explore. Now my thoughts for what these are is The pizza could lead to a party room, possibly the atrium, and L could mean to lower levels, and that's why there's danger tape, because you're obviously going to start entering a hazardous area where you're going to need protective gear and such like that. You can see this side right here where the pizza is, lights are flashing. There's like red flashing lights there in the corner. Now it could just be electrical sparks, it really could be, but I just want to think about it again. Is there something happening right here in the corner? Possibly Vanny moving around, because you can clearly see the lights are flashing, so something is happening in that room, unless it is just an electrical spark. Now let's actually move on to what Vanny's saying, because we go from her talking in where it's not echoey, but now it seems that she's in an area where it's even more echoey, and we can start to hear that ambience we hear from the first trailer, because we're entering the lower levels, so stuff is going to start getting a lot more creepy. Ambience turns from this, you know, happy song like right here, you can hear the Freddy Fazbear theme in the background, but when we move on to the utilities, you can hear that dark ambience going on in the background with Vanny's voice starting to echo.
I see you.
And then Vanny says, I see you. So this is possibly before the moment that Gregory is found. So in the first trailer we hear Glamrock Freddy saying, Gregory, be still, I think she's found us. But if Vanny says, I see you, maybe that does mean Vanny actually found Gregory at some point in this game. And you have to think, is this a cutscene? Is this happening during gameplay? Because if this is happening during gameplay and you hear I see you randomly, and that means that Vanny's seen you, that is going to be damn right terrifying in game. But if it is a cutscene, that means that it's supposed to happen in the game and it's like a scripted event. So Gregory might get caught by Vanny in the game, so that's just something to think about. Once again, it's in this echoey kind of area, but something I didn't bring up is that it sounds different than the other voices we hear in the trailer. You know, let me go back to the first few times she talks.
Gregory.
I see you.
It doesn't sound like Vanny. It could be an animatronic, so my two guesses for who this is it's either Vanny either taking off her mask or something, so now it's unmasked Vanny talking. Whether that's the Night God or not is your thoughts and opinions. Or it could be Roxanne, because we know Roxanne's voice actor Michelle Amos, I think I said that right, she also played Ballora, and this voice kind of reminds me of Ballora in a way. Now it's obviously not going to sound exactly like Ballora, because obviously Roxanne isn't Ballora, it's just a reused voice actor. So maybe this is Roxanne talking and Roxanne is on the hunt with Vanny to find Gregory. You know, more thoughts about that. I'm curious to see what yours are. But as the scene moves on, we enter what seems to be another back room with an office. You can see there seems to be a kind of pad right here that could possibly lift a crane or move some boxes around with some machinery. Just a little keypad right here. And as we move along, we see another one of these giant tanks with the Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex logo. I'm going to brighten this all up in editing so you guys can see it a lot better than I am. But as we zoom in, we see a lot of storage right here with possibly some animatronic parts. Maybe it's supplies for the stores and all the attractions within. But I think it's important if Steelwall is showing us this. So this could have some importance in the actual game itself, and it's not just a simple back room. Now, the main focus of this scene is the office itself. You can see there's multiple desks with lots of chairs. So if this is a security office or perhaps a board meeting room, this seems to be more like a board meeting room actually, where you'd have all the CEOs and such talking. You can see the giant whiteboard right here where you'd plop down all your plans. Another reason to show this to be an office is the multiple computer screens yet again. This could possibly be a printer in the background, but more importantly, we see this whiteboard right here with some interesting text on it. So this first one, I believe it says drive more earnings or something like that, and this one in the corner says we need more money. So does this mean that Fazbear Entertainment went bankrupt? after constructing this massive pizzaplex. So they blew out all their money, they put all their eggs into one basket, and now they've gone bankrupt. So now they need more money, which is showing this pie chart right here, showing what the most successful attractions of the place are that's driving them the most money. So this one could be Montgomery Gators golf course, this one could be the laser tag, this one could be the amount of food that people are buying, you know, stuff like that. What is the most successful part of this business? And the floor pattern is actually Glamrock Freddy, so this could be something to do with Glamrock Freddy's location, because you know in Montgomery Gators golf course the floor pattern is Montgomery Gator. I assume in Roxanne's Raceway it's going to be Roxy. This time it seems to be Freddy's area, so this could be possibly behind his green room or something, because we don't really know what's behind the green rooms yet. All we've seen is some storage boxes, so this place right here, this entire room, could potentially take place behind the green room. And then the trailer just wraps up with Vanny laughing. I do believe this is Vanny laughing after she's found Gregory or something like that, or she has an idea of where they are, or she knows where they are and she's about to be in pursuit of them. But I do think that this is Vanny laughing right here, either with or without the mask, I'm not sure, but I don't think this is an animatronic laughing, as it sounds too human-like. I've heard some people saying that it could be an animatronic, possibly Roxanne laughing, and I've also heard some people saying that this could be Vanny, and that's what I'm more willing to believe. You can actually hear the last part of the laugh echo, almost as if two people are laughing. However, I do think it's just Vanny laughing, but during her laugh, Glitch Trap echoes with her, because we know when Vanny says glitch, her voice glitches out. Possibly when she laughs, Glitch Trap is laughing inside her head with her. So that just could be a thought. I think that it is Vanny laughing. She's obviously done something right, or Gregory has been found and she's about to start chasing him. So that's just some thoughts. That's really it for the NVIDIA Tech Demo. It's pretty short, but I still think it's really cool to just see the improvement from the first revealed trailer to where it was just in a span of a few months. I think this is the most up-to-date we've seen of Security Breach. Actually, the logo isn't here in this wall. I completely missed that. The logo isn't here, so this isn't even the completely finished area. So, but I still do think that this is the most up-to-date we've seen of Security Breach, not counting the in-game screenshots. This is what the game's going to look like if you have RTX on, or if you have, I guess it would look similar with PlayStation, because I know ray tracing and such. All that is RTX stuff, so the PlayStation 5, stuff like that. All technology beyond my knowledge. But yeah, I'm going to leave this video here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you leave a good old like on it. And if you're new to the channel, why not consider subscribing? If you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell, make sure it's like so notified every time I upload and you never miss a video. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.